Okay, good day, one and all. Thank you for coming on to the final episode of the Goals and Target series. So we would do a so today we're going to be going through a bit of omnipresence, and then we would do a summary of all the episodes that we've had so far. We've had 8 episodes so far, and this is the this is the last episode actually. So if you want to call it, it's like the ninth episode if you want to call it that. So thanks for joining. Thanks for being on the call and listening. And this is our final episode. And with me on the call, we have Dr. Becky and we have Dr. Paul. And they will be giving us insights on the omnipresence topic that we talked about last week, and then also be giving a summary on all the episodes that we had so far. All right, so yeah, omnipresence. Omnipresence is being everywhere. The word implies everywhere at the same time, right? But we drill down to omnipresent. What omnipresence means to a business owner is being everywhere your customer or client is, right? So or clients are. So the client sees you as being omnipresent because he sees you everywhere. So he has the impression that you're everywhere, but you all you are doing is you are being present and active wherever he is. So you target online, you target groups, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, whatever groups online that fit your target audience, and then you are present there and active there. So also offline, you also are present in the groups that fit your target audience, and then you are present and also active in those groups, right? So, and then we now talked about the significance of omnipresence as a business owner to the know, like, trust factor, right? The advocacy, also known as the advocacy ladder, right? So, yeah, so I think I'll, I'll ask Dr. Paul to, we've explained part of it, but we'd like to get some insights from Dr. Paul, right, on how the relevance of omnipresence to the know, like, trust factor, and also known as the advocacy ladder. All right, thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Paul. You are muted, Dr. Paul. You are muted.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was muted. Okay. Hello out there. Thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, the advocacy ladder. Last time we're talking about omnipresence, and then yes, not to just say simply to explain simply in layman's term what we call the advocacy ladder. I put it in this little term, or I put it as a customer loyalty. And it's also called the advocacy ladder, as Stephen rightly said. And let me put it in how we put it in. It has, for me, it has firstly to get to now. Advocacy is, when you talk about advocacy, we're talking about being brand advocate, being brand ambassadors. So, as Stephen also said, it is the know, like, trust, and then becoming brand ambassador, which is the advocate itself. So, this is where I put it, how I put it in simple terms. This is a 4-step ladder. Know, like, trust, and then being advocates. Now, let me break it down. Know. When you talk about in your business, how do you get to know? And when we talk about the bottom of people at the bottom of this ladder here is what we call our leads. Our leads here get to know us, or we call them as our prospects or leads. They're curious, they're intrigued about your business. They want to know more. They basically just see you on this and then, oh, I've seen this person. I want to know more about this. Their prospects now becoming leads. They're more interested and curious about knowing your business. That's the first step of the ladder. And then moving on from this now, they know you. When they now begin to see you as, I like this person, or I like the product he has, I like the service he has, then they possibly purchase. They become customers. They purchase a product you have. they like you. But then that is the second step, and then they're basically you now. But when you can move them from, so it's not, the ladder is not for them to just be on the knowing you part, but we've got to move them up to that ladder to get to the being advocates for you. So they know you, leads, they like you, becoming your customers, the first time buyers, they just buy it and they're watching. But then for you to move them from liking you to trusting you, you've got to be able to put services and things in place that will raise them up that ladder from just being customers to being full-time clients. They're buying everything, they're following every single thing you're doing. Then is where they're in the trust mode. And when they're in that trust mode, anything you bring to them, they're satisfied. Your customers, they're your clients, they're following you everywhere. You put a program here, they're going with you, they want to make sure, because, and then brand advocates, which is the topmost part of the ladder, now being brand ambassadors, you're not paying them for it. They're going out there and telling people, telling them about you, telling them that you need to join this. This guy has changed my life. He's going to do the same for you, being brand ambassador. So that's the simple term for me is the advocacy ladder. Moving on to know, like, trust, and then becoming brand ambassadors for you. So Stephen, that's basically in how I simplify the advocacy ladder.
Wow. Okay. So that's a good angle. All right. So the highest is the highest point at which you can leave the highest point of the customer is when he becomes your advocate, right? So he's able to, your advocate or your ambassador, able to willingly tell people about you, give you referrals rather, right? Willingly tell
that's right.
the experience that he's had with you, and then the lowest is the no, so it's from no, like, trust, and then advocate. All right. So thank you very much, Dr. Paul. That was quite insightful. So as a business owner, I would like to transcend my customers from no to like me, and then trust me, and then finally become my brand ambassador. This is like my they become my advocates, right? Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Paul. Okay, so we've gotten, I don't know if Dr. Becky wants to add anything on the omnipresence.
No, I think he outlined it very well.
Very well. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Dr. Becky. Okay, so we will now do a summary, right, of all the things that we have, of the different episodes, right, from the goals and target, difference between the goal and target, and then the doing the maths, right, breaking those goals and targets to daily activities, which has to do with the math, and then who you need to achieve these targets, what you need, right, and then we have the execution, then the AQ formula, which is the attitude, action, and what's the last A now? Attitude, action, and
the attitude.
Attitude, action. I think that I got it here. Give me a minute.
The attitude, approach, and action.
Approach and
is
action.
the attitude, approach, and action.
AQ formula, and then we now go to the statistics. 3 tips to measure your success and inspire productivity. All right, and then we now get through to what we talked about omnipresence. Right, so we'll start from top. So goals and targets. Right, so I think I'll just take a go at that. So goals and targets. Your goal is your big, hairy thing that you want to achieve. Right, that big thing you want to achieve in 5 years, in 5 years time. Right, that's big thing that you really want to achieve, or in 10 years time, and then you now break it, or in a year's time, and then you now break it down. So what's that big target, right? Is it $250 million in 5 years, right? So that big scary goal that you want to achieve, and then the target is those monthly, weekly, daily, as well as yearly or quarterly, right, things that you need to achieve to be able to get through to that goal, right? So that goal guides everything that you're doing, right? Guides your thinking, guides how your company moves, it gives you a direction, right? There's some training that we have where we talk about core values, talk about core focus, right? So it helps you be able to have that laser focus, right? It keeps you on the straight and narrow, and then you are able to say no to anything that does not align with that goal that you really you want to achieve. Because those targets are supposed to help you, get through to that goal. Right? So that's the difference, right? And then we talked about doing the maths, right? Doing the maths. You are breaking down that big goal to $50 million or $270 million, right? By the end of the year, and then you're breaking that down to the number of activities you need to do daily. So you can do it. You'll get um, you'll get you get better insights in the episode that talks about that, right? So you have to break it down into numbers, daily activities, daily action plans that you need to do. Break it down, number of calls, the number of visits, number of follow-ups you need to do, and break it all down, right, to be able to get through to that big hairy goal or that target at the end of the year or that goal at the end of the year, all right? And then we now went through to who you need to know, right? So who you need to know, I mean, that's your competition, your contract, your contacts. These are the people you need to know, right, to get you to that goal. You have it broken down into numbers. So who can get me to this goal? All right. I don't know if Dr. Paul or Dr. Becky will want to share some things as a business owner. Who are the people you need to know to get you to that goal?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, well, for people you need to find out, people who you need to know, you do remember that if you need to know, you basically need to get partners. You have to have collaborators. You need to get employees. So these are people that are positioned to be able to take your business forward. So when you talk about Stephen has talked beautifully about it, talk about doing the maths and everything, then who you need to know, you look at, this is my business, I need to do this, I need to do this. You need to get people talking about you. You need to get people so you basically know, I don't have this skill. I can get a partner. You get a partner, you collaborate with this, you get employees, people who work for you. So these are people all together.
Okay.
All together will add up to the people you need to know that will take your business to the next level. Okay. So these are things of people who you need to, and you know that who you need to know is very, very, very important. You need to, before you can move anywhere else, you need to know people. You've got to. That's why in this day and age, business is all about partnerships, collaboration, alliances. You need to know. So these are things that really, really you need to know to be able to move forward in business.
Okay. All right. So that's on who you need to know. So I'm saying that contacts are your contract. So once you have contacts, I mean,
That's
these are
right.
things that will propel you forward. And then we go into what you need to know. So just mention what you need to know, because we delve deep into in the particular episode. So you can just mention what we need to know, to get us to that goal. Just
Okay.
mention, yeah.
Well,
just mention them.
Yeah. So what we need to know, yes, what we need to know, when we're talking about what we need to know, we're basically talking about the skill sets that we need to have. That's the basic focus of what we need to know. And the three, they're major, they're very, very certain major things. They're like 5 major things you need to know, what you need to be able to. So the 5 skill sets you need: marketing first, sales, then follow up, then you need money and motivation. Okay. So these 5 very important things are the things you need to know. These are what you need to know. I'll say it again: marketing, sales, follow-up, money, and motivation.
All right. Okay then. Okay, so we go to the 5th episode where we talk about execution, right? So execution. We can never overemphasize it, because you what you need to know, yes. What you need to do, yes. But you need the rubber to hit the road. You need to do the things you need to do. We've outlined everything: the contact, what you need to know, what you need to do, who you need, right? So the next thing is to do. So keep doing to make sure that you get to where you want to where you want to get to, the goal you
To
want
get
to
to.
achieve, right? To execution loves speed. You need to move real fast, right? Okay. Then
Right.
I don't know if there's anything you want to add in execution. Don't go at it alone. Quick dabbling.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
the
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Becky.
okay, I think the only thing I want to add to the execution is that to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, something has to be taken off your plate.
Okay. Yeah.
Something has to die so that you can achieve what you want to achieve. So that's the only thing I want
Yeah.
to add. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the execution, actually, with the word execute, I think is to kill something to be able to get some. So yourself, you necessarily might not have to do things. Yes, you need to do things, but you need to also leave off some things to be able to move forward. And we talked a lot about that in the episode that talks about execution. And then the AQ formula, the money formula, right? Attitude, approach, and action, right? So, yeah. So
Can I?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. So attitude, approach, action. Of course, people always hear your attitude will take you far.
Yeah.
And we all know that if you don't take a step, any mountain, anything that you want to move, it starts by taking a step. Okay. And then approach. Approach has to do with how you think, your perspective, how you see things, you know. But the thing about any goal that you are trying to achieve is highly influenced by these three. But the most important of these three is your action, because it is when you take an action that you may be able to assess, oh, I don't have the right attitude, or my approach is poor. But as long as you stay in, oh, I'm not sure, I cannot do it, you will never be able to really assess the other two. So of the three, the most important is action. And when you take action and you are consistent in taking action, with time, it will help you to improve on your attitude and polish your approach so that you'll be able to reach your goal.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. The thing that says ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So whatever you know, if you know this much, just do. If you know this much, just do. Once you anything you know, just do. Plan. Okay, all right. So we're winding down, and then we're going to the next is the 3 tips to measure success and inspire productivity. That has to do with statistics. That has to do with measuring data. That has to do with taking business decision based on data, not based on your emotions. Right? You have to inspect what you expect. So if you're expecting from your team, from your sales team, 500 calls to be done by each person at the end of the week, or at the end of the day, you must make sure that you're able to inspect all the calls that they're doing. Make sure that at the end of the day, they're not falling short, or at the end of the week, they're not falling short. So you're inspecting what you expect. And then finally, it says that the reward
That's
or
right.
action, right? Right. So statistics. So the key thing is base whatever your business decisions are going to be, base it 80 to 90% on data, right? Make sure it's relevant data, right? So because that helps with your decisions that you want to make. I don't know, Dr. Paul, you want to add anything concerning statistics or the 3 ways to
Yes.
success?
Which I like the 3 things you said about the knowing, yes, everything based on data, and then inspecting what you want to expect. And then the 3rd thing, talk about reward and protection. That always protects you, and then you can always get better rewards when you have statistics. And it's very striking how the 3 tips, these tips for success are basically been on how to be able to get these what's it called? The 3 tips is knowing these are the 3 tips on having statistics, making sure that you measure, because these measurements are a way in which you can also grow your business, because growth is tracked by measurements. So for you to be able to grow, for you to know that you're growing, you've got to measure. So measurement is very important. You can critique it, your data, you can, once you're able to measure every day, okay, at so time I'm here, The next day, this is where I got to. I climbed up 2 steps. The next day, I went down 3 steps. Why did I go down 3 steps? What were the things I did? So you are able to track and you'll be able to measure. Once you can do this effectively, you can see that you're on a growth path. Once you're able to see your measure and you're able to grow and see the rate at which you are climbing, you're able to do it well, all well and good. So that's why when people are talking statistics, it's not just in one of doing the numbers. No, it's because it's very, very important for your company to grow. No. And one other thing I wanted to add in is you need to put in a system. You've got to be very systematic. When we talk on culture and all this, and we talk about having a proper system in place. And with that system, it's easy for you to be able to measure. So once you have a system in place of measurement, everyone in the company or everyone in the organization knows that there is a system for measurement and they're able to follow that system. So the system in place to be able to help with statistics is very, very important for every organization. Okay, Stephen.
Yeah, like we do on our Monday meetings every week. We try to measure exactly what we've done, what have we
very
done,
true.
what have we done, where are the gaps, right? So that we can improve, because
that's right.
The main thing is what you didn't do well, because what you've done well.
That's right.
But
that's
what
true.
you didn't do well is where we need an improvement.
What
and
did you do well?
What you didn't do well, what you've done before. I mean, there's an improvement. Right? There'll be an improvement.
That's
right.
true.
So, and then finally, omnipresence, we talked about being everywhere, as the word says, being everywhere at the same time. But as a business owner, we want to be everywhere where the customer is. So we are present and active in groups where that fit our customer profile, and we are present and active there, online and offline. And then Dr. Paul gave us a very good put everything together for us: from the present, know, like, trust, and then advocacy at the top. So know is at the bottom, like is next, as the ladder that your customer, like you can send your customer through, and then there's a know first, like next, trust is the third, and then advocate when your customer becomes your advocate and becomes your brand ambassador. Right. So that's
can I add something?
Yes, please.
Okay, I wanted to also mention that, I mean, in the one reason why the omnipresence is very, very important is that for anybody to do business with you, they must have you must have had a number of interactions with them. Okay, so if you tell somebody, this thing is good for you, usually you have to have told. I mean, psychologists realize the children, or when people are trying to explain something, usually they have to hear it about 6 times before they can assimilate it, understand it, and carry it out. Yes, it's the same thing with when you are presenting a solution to which is what you are doing when you are selling, or when you are giving a service. You are trying to you are presenting something to someone, and before they would accept it from you, that's where the know, like, trust, and the omnipresence is very important. Before they can accept it from you, they must have had a number of interactions with you. Now, some people will say, oh, you must have told them about 6 times. Some people would put it as you must have given them about 7 hours of content. Whichever way, they have to have sufficient interactions with you, sufficient interactions. And that is the amount and the quality of interactions that will build the trust and finally help you to serve them and meet their needs. So that's what I wanted to add.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Becky.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Becky. With this, I think we've come to the end. I don't know if anybody has any final thoughts before we draw the curtain. And then so for all those that want to go to our YouTube page, is ivinconsult.com. Our YouTube page is Ivin Consult, and then also our podcast page on Anchor /Ivin Consult, anchor.com /Ivin Consult. So you can see all the podcasts episodes there, as well as all the videos on our YouTube channel. So I don't know if anybody has any final comments. Okay.
Okay, just one comment, one thought in my mind. It's a statement. It says, you know, in all these things, in everything, we've got to, it says, just like a diamond, before a diamond can really come out, it's got to go through time and pressure. Those are the main things that bring about the formation of a diamond. And you know, if you don't put pressure on yourself to make sure you achieve, to do the things you need to do, the universe will put the pressure on you. So it's time to be able to put yourself now under pressure within a certain period of time so that you can achieve and become the diamond that you wish to be. So my final words is on this: diamonds are formed under pressure and within a certain period of time. So to become a diamond, to grow and be that star, you've got to push yourself, put the pressure on yourself within a certain period of time. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Paul.
Okay, can I add something?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to add that a lot of it that we've said, you can actually do it on your own, but it also helps when you have some support. And that is one thing that we do as a company in helping businesses grow and helping business owners grow. We offer you support. Now, support can come in form of accountability, can come in form of coaching, can come in form of consultation. So feel free to reach out to us in the comments on any of our platforms, and we will be there to help you. Okay, we also, I mean, some of the things we do is that we offer complimentary discovery calls where we sit down with you, try to find out what is the problem and try to point you in the right direction to a solution to help you achieve that growth, whatever you see as growth in your business.
Thank you so much, Dr. Becky. Thank you very much, Dr. Paul. The eight episodes on this series was quite enlightening, quite interesting, and I know that our listeners, people watching our YouTube channel, would get a lot of value from what we've discussed so far. All right, so thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching, and then we'll see you on the next series. All right, and bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.